Hi, you're thinking about going to Scotland. What a perfect getaway, especially since the dollar is getting stronger against the pound. Scotland is an amazing country with many diverse regions and easy enough to get around, preferably by public transportation since they drive on the opposite side of the road. I was in Scotland for the kickoff of Homecoming, which is aimed at motivating people of Scottish descent and those who simply love Scotland to come home in 2009 and take part in an inspirational celebration of the culture, heritage, and the many great contributions Scotland has given to the world. Celtic Connections hosted music events throughout Scotland to celebrate the festivities at great performance venues such as the Old Fruit Market in Glasgow. After a quick 6-hour flight on Continental Airlines, I was in the bustling city of Glasgow. Glasgow is fun and hip with great shops, restaurants, and bars, along with museums, galleries, and the famous Glasgow School of Art. The main shopping districts in city centre consist of Princess Square with lots of designer shops, Buchanan Street, the main shopping strip in Glasgow with all types of stores and a mall, and Merchant City. From Glasgow, you can take less than an hour train ride from Queen Street to Edinburgh for around £10, or less than $15 to you and me. As the capital of Scotland, this remarkable city has a breathtaking historical skyline consisting of the famous castle, stately homes, medieval chapels, the Parliament, and the Queen's Palace. Extending down the Royal Mile from the castle is a mix of traditional and contemporary shops. Ken Hanley, a Scottishman and tour guide for Small World Tours, took me around Edinburgh to show me the highlights in my limited amount of time there.
Well, if you come to Scotland's capital city, Edinburgh, I think the castle where we're just now is a must visit. You know, it has our crown jewels, it has everything central to the history. You know, you can learn about Robert the Bruce, you can learn about all of these people, Braveheart and so on.
The kickoff weekend of Homecoming was also Scotland's national poet Robert Burns' 250th anniversary. If you are a big Burns fan, you can trace his life in Scotland by starting in Ayr and visiting the Burns National Heritage Park and stepping into his cottage where he grew up. While in Ayr, we were treated to a piping parade in celebration of the Robert Burns weekend. Did you know that a good majority of the cashmere made for major labels is made in Scotland? You can get a tour of Beg Scotland and see the process of how cashmere is made in Ayr before it ends up on the shelves of some pretty popular stores. In order to get a good sense of the infamous poet Robert Burns, you could visit the Burns House Museum located in Mauchline, a little town northeast of Ayr. This is the town where Burns met his wife, Jean Armour. Ian Lyle is president of the local Burns Club and talks about the impact Robert Burns had on Scotland.
We were a very insignificant country. We'd just been almost taken over by England. And Burns, I think, really put Scotland back in the map, and he also preserved our language because the language was disappearing. And Burns really, in that book of poetry that he printed, preserved the Scottish language.
You know what they say, when in Rome. Well, when in Scotland, you must eat what the Scots eat, and that includes such dishes as haggis, black pudding, and smokies. Surprisingly, I like the haggis, despite the fact that it's made from a sheep's heart, liver, and lungs mixed with onion, oatmeal, and spices, and boiled in the animal's stomach. The music is fun, especially from one of the country's popular bands, the Red Hot Chili Pipers, who rocks out on their bagpipes. Stuart is one of its members and talks about how he came up with the name of the band.
The name came about by pure accident because I was tidying my flat and my friend gave me a little hand with the CDs. And he put the CDs in an order, you know, like rock and pop over here, bagpipe ones over here, Celtic ones over there. And I'm looking through all the bagpipe CDs and I see in the middle there's some Red Hot Chili Peppers. I said, why have you stuck Red Hot Chili Peppers in amongst all the bagpipe CDs? And he said, oh, I thought it was Red Hot Chili Peppers. And I thought, what a great name.
I unfortunately only had 4 days to spend in such a magical country, but you should definitely leave yourself some more time to explore the other beautiful regions such as the Highlands, Loch Lomond, and Stirling. With so much history, great shopping, and beautiful landscapes, you'll get immersed into another culture and place and time. And as a Scottish woman told me, you could never go wrong with a man in a kilt.